This segment of Packard Pokes At was made possible by patrons of the show and viewers like you. Please go to patreon.com/PackardPokesAt to help support the show. Thank you. A Christian pastor in Prescott Valley in Arizona went on an angry rant during a sermon in which he condemned his fellow pastor for not endorsing a far-right pastor, Steven Anderson's call for death of LGBT people. He said basically, if you don't go out and stone gays to death, then you are not a good Christian. In fact, he also said that you should not be afraid of the reprisals. He says if you're going to break fellowship over Christians over this issue, you're too scared because you're scared about retaliation from these perverts. Don't be scared. They're vile, they're wicked, and you need to be standing up and standing together. I have news for this pastor. The only wicked person here is you, asshole. If you advocate for going out and killing people just because they love the same of somebody of the same gender, then you, sir, are the wicked and asshole. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, the article mentions that it says right there in God's law in the Old Testament that gays should be stoned to death, and it's really shocking that since he's such a fan of the Old Testament that he doesn't know all the other things it says not to do, or not to eat shellfish, and to sell your daughter as a sex slave, and how much silver you should get for her, and things like that. Like all sorts of immoral things that we now as a modern society in the 21st century hold to be reprehensible are mentioned in the Bible as like completely okay. Like a woman that divorces her husband and then remarries is an adulterer.
Yeah.
Okay, track down all the Christian women in the world who have done that and tell them like, hey, guess what? You're going to hell. Yeah. You know,
and stone them to death.
It's complete bullshit.
And stone them to death, just like the Bible says.
Yeah, stone them to death. Like, let's kill people because the fairy tale says so.
Yeah, this is total bullshit.
I watched the video of this sermon where he was saying all this crap.
Yeah.
And there's like a baby crying in the audience.
Yes.
And that was like really like he would be like, and then blah, 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 and you'd hear like, wah. And it's like, oh man.
Yeah. There's children in this audience. So
Exactly. Yeah, it's fucking bullshit. It's outrageous. I mean, this guy is like, there's people who like are doing things to benefit humanity. This guy is not one of them.
Yeah, he is. I would like to say is a waste of skin. This guy is one mouth breather we could do without. Connie, your thoughts?
I was confused because some of his videos, I recognized the church that he used to preach in. They'd done a mural on the wall that looked like a seascape, and now there's one where it's a green like pasture, a mountain, grassy knoll, and trees. It turns out that was the person he's condemning. He's condemning Pastor Steven Anderson. Mm-hmm. That's his church. That's his Baptist church.
Yeah.
And the reason that Pastor David Berzins has a different setting now is they're meeting in his home. So I guess he's split off from this other pastor, and that's real. And the only difference between these two pastors is that Berzins thinks that you should be able to kill the gays. And evidently Steven Anderson is more progressive than that, although he still has videos out there. You go to YouTube and you'll see Steven Anderson of Arizona, talking about how horrible a sin and what an abomination homosexuality is, among other things. I don't know. These guys are real knuckle draggers. And I don't know. I'm glad Joe heard that too. When I heard little kids listening to this man say all this hateful stuff, I thought, oh my goodness, this is just so ugly. But, if you go to his Facebook page, Pastor David Berzins, he also has a banner on there, the Kent Hovind plea, demand Hovindication, so Kent Hovind will get out of jail. He has a an article where he links it's interesting about the Brzezinski Cancer Clinic, and Brzezinski is a woo-woo guy. He's it's terrible. He also has a lot of he's a 9/11 truther, and he is questioning vaccinations and all kinds of. So this guy is he's the full meal deal crazy, and I just go he's a pastor and people are listening to him, and he's got kids, and it's just no, he's an asshole like you said, and God, I can't believe that people. Shouldn't this be investigated? Somebody advocating that kind of violence. He has pictures of himself with guns and shooting ranges, just standing there with AR-15s on his hip. He's got obviously it's a special shooting range, and you can go shoot these high power weapons. I'm like, really? No, I'm so tired of this kind of brand of crazy. It's making me ill.
Yeah. You had a comment come in from Twitter here from Torvian. Says pastor saying gay should be stoned caught smoking weed. It all makes sense. It all makes sense now. So
that's much better. That's much
well,
lighter
that's what
take.
I've seen. That it's like now it all makes sense. They shouldn't be getting. They should be getting stoned. They should be taking a little toke. Go, yeah, that's the ganja man.
Somebody needs to calm down.
He definitely needs to calm down. He definitely needs to calm down. The thing is, let's say this book said that you had to go, that their holy book said you had to go out and stone Christians, then they would say, oh, you're persecuting us, or I've never heard people on the LGBT side say, hey, you know what? We need to go out and kill Christians because they don't want to stand with us, or they're trying to actively prevent us from getting married. I have never heard that. But you hear these hateful Christians out there that say, you know what, let's kill these people because they're different. That is garbage.